So I got this aliens figure. There's a story behind it. Let's go to the studio and we'll talk about it, and I'll look it over and see. No, matter of fact, let's just make this a relaxed one. Let's go to the couch and see. So welcome to another Hill vs. Mountain card. Today I'm going to look at the Hiya Toys Exquisite minis. I'm a real hillbilly, so big words not good. Exquisite minis, aliens, crouching alien warrior figure. And I have to say, I bought this with very stupid things. Story. I bought this thinking it was a lot bigger than what it was. I seen it online one day. I was at work and I was flipping through stuff on Amazon, and I've been wanting to get an aliens figure for the longest time. I couldn't make up my mind. I seen this at a really cheap price and I was like, hell, I'm going to get me an aliens figure. I didn't even freaking look at its size, and it's a smaller figure. But we'll get this and open it up. If we're looking at it, you can see like a little picture. I think that's of the actual figure. Aliens logo on the sides. Hiya Toys. And then on the back, the normal stuff. And it's just black. Because it's aliens. You really can't. It's one of these, like a lot of imports and stuff. With the glare and stuff, you really can't see inside. And I've always thought these wouldn't be very good for people that like men on cards stuff. But let's take this out here and give it a look over and see what I actually spent my money on. Oh, let's open this thing up here. Open that. Tray. I don't think this figure's going to come with any accessories or anything, but it might surprise me. You know, it's surprising me by not wanting to come out. Okay. So, okay, it did come with a couple of things, and we'll just have to look at. So, right here it is in a tray. Looks like there's a couple of things here. And up here, looks like alternate hands for it. And a stand, but let's open this up and try not to lose a bunch of stuff. Okay. Figure out, and then I think these are stand pieces. Because it comes with a stand. Yeah, right there. And I think there's two pieces to be the stand. Yeah, and these aren't taped in or anything. So if you get this, be careful. Because you got two little pieces here, and then two alternate hands, and it looks like those pieces go into the stand, maybe, but there's really not any instructions for that. But let's just look at the figure. Oh, like just grabbing this out of the box. It looks really cool. I have some 3 3/4 inch figures, not a ton. I have some. It's got mouth articulation there. Oh. And yeah, it's hard to see right here, but yeah, right there. It's got the inside mouth. I mean, it doesn't look like it's got a ton of articulation, like the neck doesn't look like it moves much of any. And I'm also kind of afraid to move it much, because I don't know how these figures react. But you got the mouth. There's some, well yeah, there's some twist in the hands there. A lot, you can see the claws there. And it's a really cool, looks like you can get all the way around and some up. It's got elbow swivel, and the other side looks to be much the same. It's hard to review a figure that's almost completely black. Okay, it's called a crouching, so it looks like there's knees, double knees, but there's pretty good knees there. Actually, it looks like it may be double knees. See how much of a split it can do. Wine. Oh, that's a bendy tail too. I like that. Need that on some other figures. Let's see, let's look at the feet. There's actually not much. There's no rocker, looks like, on the feet. Don't even have much up and down. There's toe there though. See that? There's toe articulation. So that's at least something, but you ain't got that rocker on the feet. Kind of hurts. And this tail, it doesn't look like it swivels, but it's bendy. It looks like you can do a lot of stuff with it, because it's got like a bendy wire. I think the tail is probably going to be used for balance a lot of times with this thing, because it's so spindly, it really doesn't stand very well. But I like it. It's got some good details on it and stuff. It's not really going to give you much, like, just because these are kind of loose too. So when you go to set it down, which I know you can't see right now, but when you go set it down, because it's not got an ankle, it's hard to actually do the crouching thing it was talking about. And looking on the box, like, they got it crouched down a lot. Like, so I'm trying to do that one pose that's on the box. So he's all the way up like this. And then I guess the toe joint. And then a hand, which it's got these other hands, which there's not a ton of difference between these that I can see, really. And here, and then the tail is going down. I'm not seeing how they're getting that much of a crunch out of it myself, or a crouch out of myself. So maybe if I fool with this more, I can learn to get more from it. Well, right now, looking at it, it's actually pretty hard. It might be one of those figures you have to really, really work with. Maybe it's doing like all the way down on one knee. I mean, you can get it to go like that, but it looks to me like the elbow doesn't straighten out, because it's got this one piece right here. So you can't, I mean, you can get pretty straight, but it's also going to cause issues. Like, it feels so fragile, even like I'm worried about breaking it. But it's actually hard to get into poses, I think. I'll see if I can get some poses to go with it and some videos to end this, but just looking at, I mean, there's a lot of good things about it. Like, the sculpt on it, I think, does look really good. These legs. Oh, those are drop-down hips. It's got drop-down hips. I didn't know that. I'm not always the biggest fan of drop-down hips. Like, I don't like them on G.I. Joes. So that would give it some more flexibility. I think the more I play with this, the more I might like it, and the less I get afraid of breaking it too. Because, like, I'm really afraid of stuff. It's supposed to really, like, that neck needs to go down more. I mean, it kind of looks like it does, but I don't feel like breaking it, even though I didn't pay hardly anything for it. So I got it on super sale. But, yeah. So just getting it out of the box and looking at it, it's too loose right out of the box. Like, these legs are so loose, and the drop down hips just like drop down at a moment's notice, and it's like, and when you try to turn them, they all drop down too. So if you try to get hip swivel, because there's no thigh swivel. So yeah. It's interesting. I don't know. Sculpt, really good. I mean, its design of the alien is so classic. It's so good. I'm really super happy it's got a bendable tail. We know the tip, but most stuff I've seen with bendy tails, tips usually aren't. But it's super cool that it has that, and I don't know if that's meant to be one of the balancing things for it. Like, maybe you get it balanced more with the tail. But this thing's so fiddly. And like I said, the legs, because that drop down hip just goes down in a second. It's really fiddly too. And I'm sure somebody's going to tell me, like, things I'm not doing. But yeah. This is not... For my first Aliens figure, and definitely my first one of these minis, this doesn't make me want to buy another one of these minis. If you're better at posing stuff, it's really finicky and takes a lot of work. Maybe you would like it more and stuff, but I'm not terribly disappointed, and I'm not in anything because I can use this for other stuff. But the simple fact is, these hands aren't that much difference between each other. One's slightly more open than the other one. So I don't get where those... And let me see if I can even swap one of these. Again, I'm afraid of breaking. Is there even a freaking peg? There's a peg on this part, and it goes into the hand. Do some camera. It would help if I'm doing a video if I'm doing it on camera. Oh, that's so pain in the butt. Guess it went in. No, it went right back out. See if I can do this off camera. So I got it back in, but these hands are so finicky, and like I said, with these not being that much difference between them, don't really see a point of even having them or doing it. I don't know what this is. This part is the stand. Maybe I'll check it out and look up a video online to see. The stand. Let's see how good this does. Let's see where the hole is on the feet. Oh. Where is the freaking hole? It's got a peg there. Is there a hole on the feet? This figure is like a lot of me saying like, what? I don't see a hole anywhere. Okay, that's an issue too. So, a lot of me saying, what? When it comes to this. So, I guess if you're this scale and you want to try out Aliens, give it a try if you can get it. It's cheap. I got this way cheaper than 1-2 Silver. I got this for like $8. So, would it be worth it for full price? Not for me. Like, no, not on everything. It's so finicky and stuff. So, that's a no. I probably won't buy another one of these. Sometimes I accidentally get stuff and it's like, you know, oh, I found that. That's great. You know, and even stuff I'm not used to and it's kind of finicky. Like, I got a couple of SH figure arts. Those are more complicated for me to do. Because you can do so many poses with them. But I understand, like, it's a matter of working it. It seems to be fighting me when I'm trying to do stuff more than anything else. So, if you're an Aliens fan and you have to have them at this scale, I guess it's worth giving it a try to see if you like one. But if you don't have to have it at this scale, I wouldn't recommend it really. But that's just my view. You might love it and you might be able to do a lot more with it than I can. So it's up to you to give it a try. And I would always say, Then what I think about any figure or anything, go look at other videos, because that's what I'm getting ready to do. I don't do it before I look at stuff and talk about it, because I want to be fresh and looking at it, and sometimes I totally miss stuff. So I would always recommend looking at a lot of other stuff before you decide to not buy it or to buy it. But that's just my views about stuff. So buy what you want, have fun with your figures, and have fun, and check scale and stuff before you buy it, or you end up like me. So after a little bit of time of like playing with this, and uh, you know, trying to take some pictures with it and some video and stuff, I got a couple more comments on it. One, um, okay, one, I do have a problem with this neck. Like, I understand, and this is something I discovered. Okay, that comes out, which it comes out floppy. I wish there was another way of doing it, but I don't think you could like really have it where you could grab a hold of it, so it flops out. So that can cause some issues if you want it hanging upside down with its mouth open, but not that coming out. But it's good that that comes out. That looks really cool with that, like that. Okay, and the jaw articulation, but it's loose. I seen some people talking about their figures being more stiff, but mine really wasn't. But I can understand you heating it up a little bit because of the slenderness of it. You're afraid of breaking it. But like this head not going down at all, I think they were probably like with this, but this can't go more further right here. You could still put a joint down here for it. So that's a big no-no I kind of discovered that I was looking at. Another thing was I thought there was no kind of like ankle movements. There is. It has a like twist there on the ankles, but of course be very like hold it right here when you do it, because like this thing is so thin it doesn't want to do that. And the reason why I thought it didn't have one is because like when I go up here and do it, it turns the whole lady. These drop down hips, which I talked about not liking as much before, when you go to turn anything else in it, like down here, the drop down hips drop down. Well, I've loosened this up a little bit now, but the drop down hips will drop down, and you don't even know if you have this. Another thing is, a lot of people were saying theirs had holes for the I seen online reading that some people say holes for that. There's no hole I can find in this thing. Like, do you see one? Like, I don't see one anywhere, unless it's somehow like you bend the hose and then the hole is there. But I don't see any kind of peg hole in these feet. So either mine didn't have one, or I'm just stupid and blind and can't see it. I mean, I am clink half blind probably. But like I didn't see it like that. So that was some of the things I discovered. Also, it does have a waist twist, like right there, and it does go back some. Barely any front, which if you're going to crouch, you need actually a lot more front. And that was supposed to be the big benefit of this one. It was supposed to be the crouching aspect of it. But if you're going to have crouching, but then okay, it's crouching and it's down like this. One, the head doesn't look up at all, unless you totally twist him. And the other, like, I think the two things that could help this most is having a waist that you really crank that thing and get it really turned upwards, and then the head. The head is a big deal, because, like, okay, I got this thing pretty twisted up right now, and it's doing kind of cool, but unless you're doing up a wall or something like that, and there's that mouthpiece floppy now if you don't have it closed. Keep his mouth closed, or his like other face, tongue, whatever will fall out. But I think it needed that, and I like it in a lot of ways, and in other ways I have a lot of problems with it. Again, like I said, I actually bought this by accident because I'm stupid and I didn't pay attention to the size of something. So you can twist him like this and get like a really crazy, and the arms do straighten out, but it's actually kind of hard to do it. So if you do that, it gives it a good look to it. But again, it would be much better if you could get that head to go up a lot more, and the waist would twist up a lot more. But with it laying like this, which would be the crouching that a lot of people's getting it for, and more or less how people want it, I think it kind of fails on that. It's supposed to be a specialty one. I actually asked somebody I know it buys more of these, and they said there's another one that's a lot like it, but not totally, and this one's supposed to be basically the more articulated one where you could have the mouthpiece and some other stuff. But I don't think it totally works in that aspect because of some of the issues with it. But let's put him over here and compare size. Oh, his tail kind of sticks out. Let's see how far around you can get his tail to go up front and stuff. I mean, you can do it quite a bit. So I can stand him like an almost pose maybe. But so to do comparisons with other, I don't know if this is technically 3 3/4 scale, but getting with those similar 3 3/4 scale looks. Stop autofocusing. Like if you look at the Fortnite, I think there's speedballs compared to it. Like it's a decent size, but he looks too skinny, and he should be a lot taller than like normal characters and such. And then you got the Stormtrooper or with their kind of basic ones that they had, which I'm probably going to do some photos with this and the Alien. There's some people that do some really good ones of the Aliens and Predators and other figures. This is the Doctor Who line they did. I only had one of these, but if you put this size Doctor Who, not too bad if you want to do a Doctor Who with one of these and the Alien. So that's not a bad size for those to go with it. And then you got those Marvels. I forgot what this crew was called. It wasn't Marvel Legends also, was it? Oh. So if you got all these figures, and yeah, these sizes, if you look at it, he really needs to be bigger, taller and bigger, and even a little bit thicker for these size figures, in my personal opinion. And with thicker, I don't mean, I know the aliens tend to be kind of skinny in that way, but to fit with other scales, I think he would have to be, because he looks so small compared to these. He's a little bit better size with the Stormtrooper and that Doctor Who of the ones I have of different scales and different sizes. I think it fits best with the Doctor Who ones. So I am going to get some photos out of this. I am going to have some fun with it. But no, I probably wouldn't buy another one of them. More than likely. And I've seen the Predator ones that are small too. I just need to get one that fits in with my 6 and 7 inch scale a lot better.